I've been thinking a lot about the friction of creation. You have this genuinely brilliant idea in your head,
Mm-hmm.
but the tools just completely stand in your way. You open some massive application.
Yeah, and the interface is incredibly overwhelming.
Exactly. It drains your creative momentum instantly.
Well, what if Google quietly buried its most powerful AI video engine inside a boring workspace app, and they just kind of forgot to tell anyone?
That's exactly what we're exploring today. Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're unpacking a fascinating guide by Max Ann.
He published this comprehensive breakdown back in April 2026.
Right. It explores the hidden depths of Google Vids. Specifically, it focuses on the stealthy integration of VO 3.1.
It's a completely wild update. It fundamentally changes how we approach daily content creation.
Our mission today is highly focused. It's also very practical. We're going to figure out how to stop jumping between 5 different apps.
Making one simple video shouldn't require endless open tabs.
No, you really shouldn't.
Mhm.
We're going to master this hidden all-in-one production studio.
You're going to save an unbelievable amount of time. This workflow eliminates so many unnecessary technical hurdles.
Let's start by acknowledging the painful status quo. Editing video right now feels incredibly fragmented.
Oh, deeply frustrating.
I call it the power outage feeling. You spend hours formatting a project across multiple tools,
Yeah.
and then something breaks. You lose your entire creative flow.
Exactly. You pull your voiceover from one random website, you generate background images in a totally different application.
Right.
You download all these intermediate files to your desktop, then you try to smash them together in an editor.
And the frame rates almost never match up perfectly. The aspect ratios are always slightly off.
Yeah, you spend more time formatting than actually creating.
So Google basically observed that exact friction, and they quietly solved it.
They built a stealthy solution right into their standard ecosystem.
You literally just type Vids.New into your browser.
And you instantly enter a completely integrated video production environment.
It feels incredibly familiar, mostly because it looks exactly like Google Docs.
Right, which brings us to the massive hidden update.
As of April 2nd, 2026, personal accounts get something huge,
You get 10 free VO 3.1 generations every single month.
which is absolutely crazy to think about. That feature isn't even available in the free version of Gemini.
No, it isn't. VO 3.1 is their flagship high-end video generation model.
Right. It understands complex physics and highly realistic lighting.
And Google just buried their best video AI inside a workspace tool.
So you can generate high-quality clips right on the timeline. You can record voiceovers directly into the browser. You can edit the entire sequence together seamlessly.
You can even export directly to Drive or YouTube from there.
Right. And you do all of this without downloading a single intermediate file.
You never have to clutter your desktop with random MP4s again.
But I have to ask, does this actually replace professional editing software suites? Or is it just a sandbox for quick projects?
Well, it's definitely not replacing high-end Hollywood editing suites today.
Yeah.
You're not going to cut a feature film in Google Vids.
Right.
It's designed to replace the messy, fragmented, everyday workflow. It handles corporate explainers, internal memos, and quick social media clips flawlessly.
So it replaces the messy workflow, not the pro editing suites.
Precisely. It makes everyday communication dramatically smoother.
Now that we know where this hidden tool lives, we need to understand how to actually use it.
Right, without creating a complete mess. Because AI can generate some truly chaotic, disconnected clips.
Yeah, if you just let it run wild. We really need to master the core workflow here. How do we keep the generated footage looking intentional and cohesive?
Well, you have to embrace a very specific core loop. You generate the clip, you preview it, and then you insert.
The biggest mindset shift is treating the AI like a first draft.
You can't expect absolute perfection on the very first try.
Never. You have to iterate and shape the output gradually.
It's a probabilistic model making educated guesses.
Let me be a bit vulnerable here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, it's a massive headache for absolutely everyone using these tools.
Just to define that quickly, it is when AI forgets what your character looks like over time.
Yeah. Your first scene looks incredibly cinematic and perfectly lit. Your protagonist is wearing a specific blue coat.
Right.
Then your second scene features a completely different looking protagonist.
The code is red. The lighting is completely flat.
Exactly. Max's guide highlights a brilliant pro trick to fix this.
It's called the animate image continuity hack.
This is where the workflow actually gets incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
You generate your first clip, You scrub to the very end of that timeline. You take a screenshot of the last frame of scene A.
So you just capture the final moment of that specific visual.
Then you upload that screenshot as the image prompt for scene B. You tell the AI exactly what needs to happen next.
Like the polar bear leaps forward into the freezing water.
Exactly. Because you provided the visual anchor of the first frame.
The AI inherits the lighting, the character, and the exact style.
It uses that image as the starting line.
The guide compares this to stacking Lego blocks perfectly, instead of just throwing them in a random pile.
I love that analogy.
I actually think of it like passing a baton in a relay race.
Oh, that's good too.
The second runner doesn't start from a complete standstill. They inherit the forward momentum of the first runner.
That's a fantastic way to look at it. It creates a genuinely continuous visual narrative for the viewer. And here's another highly counterintuitive tip for this exact workflow. Skipping the transitions between these linked clips often looks much more natural.
That's interesting. Why shouldn't we just use dissolve transitions to hide the imperfections between generations?
Well, because dissolve transitions actually blend the pixels of both distinct frames. It artificially highlights the slight AI variations instead of hiding them.
Oh, I see.
A hard cut forces the human brain to naturally accept the visual continuity.
Right, no transitions keeps the inherited frames feeling like one continuous shot.
Exactly. It feels much more like a deliberate camera movement.
So we've mastered the visual continuity of the generated clips.
Yeah.
Let's shift our focus to the most practical feature for daily work. This is something that surprisingly doesn't cost a single dime.
The free tier of this tool is actually incredibly robust. It's not just a crippled trial version.
It handles the core workflow effortlessly for most normal users. You get the voiceovers, the basic editing, and the stock media.
And the AI voiceovers are actually surprisingly good for a totally free tool.
Yeah.
They have this calm, measured teacher style that works perfectly for tutorials.
But the guide points out a massive sleeper feature hidden in the menus. It's the slides to video conversion tool.
This is the feature that will literally save people hundreds of hours every month. You just go up to the file menu and click Convert Slides.
2-sec silence.
Oh.
Imagine turning a 50-slide corporate deck into a polished narrated video in seconds.
Right? It completely changes how we share boring information at work. You no longer have to record yourself reading endless bullet points.
The AI automatically writes a cohesive connecting script for you.
It adds highly natural narration.
And layers subtle background music underneath. It even handles the visual transitions between the slides completely automatically.
You just review the final output and make a few quick stylistic tweaks.
But how does the AI actually generate a cohesive script if a slide deck only contains sparse bullet points?
It uses the underlying language model to deeply analyze the overall context. It doesn't just read the individual words on the screen.
Okay.
It looks at the semantic flow of the entire presentation holistically.
So if slide 3 presents a major problem.
Right. And slide 4 presents a specific solution. It naturally infers the missing spoken context between those sparse bullets.
Got it. It reads the broader context and writes the connecting tissue automatically.
Yeah, it acts like a really smart, highly trained presentation coach. Sponsor.
Automating those massive slide decks is going to save people countless hours of pure drudgery.
Absolutely.
But the paid tier attempts to automate the human presenter entirely.
This brings us to the AI avatars and the digital ingredients.
Let's unpack how these digital avatars actually function in practice. You start by selecting a digital spokesperson from their built-in library.
Then you upload an image of your actual physical product. They call this product image an ingredient in the Vids system.
The digital avatar then naturally interacts with it, all while reading your written script.
It's absolutely perfect for software unboxing videos or quick feature tutorials.
But the guide emphasizes a very critical rule for using these avatars. You must always run the preview first before committing completely.
Right. Rendering these complex videos takes significant time, and it uses up your monthly credits.
You have to check the lip sync and the overall pacing first.
You really want to ensure the delivery tone matches your actual written script.
Right. And a serious topic requires a deliberately serious delivery.
Once the preview looks perfect, then you finally render the whole thing.
The guide also emphasizes a broader philosophy of skipping the blank canvas entirely.
The blank canvas is where most creative projects completely die. It's incredibly intimidating.
You stare at a blinking cursor and just feel entirely paralyzed. The unlimited possibilities are too much.
So you should always use the built-in templates to start your workflow. The AI image generation includes these really helpful fully working example prompts.
You're editing a working prompt rather than starting from absolute zero.
It gives you immediate creative momentum to just keep moving forward.
You just swap out a few key nouns and verbs. But do these avatars risk falling into the uncanny valley and alienating the viewer?
They definitely can if you just use them in an empty digital void.
Mm-hmm.
The human brain quickly detects something slightly artificial and feels creeped out.
Right.
But when you give them a real physical ingredient to hold, it forces the viewer's brain to focus on the actual tangible product.
Yeah, so grounding them with real-world product photos bridges that artificial gap.
Exactly. It psychologically anchors the digital avatar to our shared physical reality.
We've covered the absolute magic of this new integrated workflow.
It really is magic.
But to make this a reliable and truly daily tool, we really have to talk about the very real technical limitations.
These are the hidden guardrails that will definitely trip new users up.
The 10 free VO 3.1 generations are basically just a generous sampler. They're not an unlimited buffet for you to endlessly consume.
They'll vanish incredibly quickly if you waste them thoughtlessly. You have to be highly intentional with every single text prompt you write.
You also need to heavily adopt the good enough, fast philosophy. This tool is built specifically for internal explainers and basic training videos.
Right. It's fantastic for quick social clips and daily memos.
It's absolutely not meant for high-end theatrical commercial production.
The biggest mistake new users make is expecting perfect initial results.
They type one lazy prompt and get genuinely angry when it fails.
You have to think in iterative sequences to be truly successful here.
You adjust the text, you tweak the settings, and you slowly refine the output.
You're guiding the system.
Let me challenge that workflow a bit. If treating the AI as a first draft means iterating, does the user actually end up spending more time tweaking than they would just filming themselves?
Think about the sheer physical logistics of real-world filming. You have to set up lighting and test your audio levels.
Yeah, it's true.
You do 7 different takes because you misspoke. Then you offload huge files from an SD card. Tweaking a prompt takes about 30 seconds of typing text.
Makes sense. The iteration is still dramatically faster than setting up a real camera.
Plus, you never have to worry about how your hair looks on camera.
Let's synthesize the big idea from this entire comprehensive guide. The defining shift of 2026 is the ultimate end of the blank canvas.
You no longer have to build every single creative element from scratch.
Google Vids is essentially asking you to become a creative director. You're assembling digital ingredients and guiding the overall creative vision.
You're no longer just a manual editor fighting with complex software constraints.
It elevates your daily role from pure manual labor to high-level strategic curation.
Absolutely.
I want to leave you with a final provocative thought today. If every single internal memo, sales pitch, and training deck can now be instantly converted into a high-quality narrated video, what actually happens to the written word in the modern workplace?
That's a really profound and slightly terrifying question to consider right now.
Does writing become completely obsolete for daily corporate communication? Or does it force us to only write things that truly matter?
It might genuinely elevate writing to a much higher, highly premium format.
We highly encourage you to open up Vids.New today, generate just one single clip, and see how it actually feels.
See how far you get before hitting a creative wall. You'll be deeply surprised by how highly intuitive it actually is.
It turns out the most powerful video engine wasn't flashy. It was quietly buried inside a boring workspace app all along. To your own music.